What's up, guys? Got another TFT strategy guide video for you today. Today we're going to be talking about Vexotech, one of the new team compositions that's rising in the meta. It revolves around Vex as your main carry, and some other Hexotech units. You definitely want a blue buff on your Vex. That is, I think, the only mandatory item on this team. You could be a very powerful carry if you give her some executioners and the right items. She really likes Rabadon's Death Cap because she's not going to be getting a lot of her own AP naturally through any of her traits. And then she likes Guard Breaker for the damage amp. So she has AoE, she's going to be able to activate that Guard Breaker a lot. Other than that, Varus is going to be your secondary carry. He likes Shiv and what other Exotech items you have. He likes Hyper Fangs and Hollow Bow. So if you don't have either of those items as your first two Exotech items, maybe don't play this in your games. And then for the frontline items, Mordekaiser likes Corrupted Chassis, Sejuani likes Repulsor Lantern, Cyber Coil. If you get a good combination of Exotech items, I'd say try this team comp out in your games. Yeah, you start off with Morgana as your opener carry. She could hold blue buff. She could also hold any Vex items real well. The Guard Breaker or the Rabadon's Death Cap. She could also hold Varus items like Shiv, maybe Shojin. Well, and yeah, this is the typical Vexotech team. In this video, we're going to be talking about the next level Vexotech team. This team comp requires you to have a spatula or some other way of getting +1 Exotech. So either a spatula or a wandering trainer with a Exotech emblem. Since you do that, all you have to do is take out Aurora and Morgana, take out the extra dynamos, and instead you're going to be playing Kindred and Zeri. Kindred for marksman and rapid fire. Zeri, obviously, for your last Exotech to get to 7 with the spatula. And I'd say the other most important parameter for playing this team composition besides the spatula is just having access to a lot of extra items. Because you are going to want to itemize at least 2 frontliners, probably Mordekaiser and Sejuani, preferably Jax too, and you are going to want to itemize a lot of backliners. Zeri and Vex for sure, you want to fully itemize them, but you could also itemize Jhin and Varus, and they will do well with items as well. So yeah, if you have a lot of items, then counter or your augments allow you to get more items. I would say go for this variation of the team composition if you have a spatula. In this video, we're going to get pretty crazy with the team composition. We get the Wandering Trainer, Exotech, and things are going to get a little nuts. So hope you enjoy the video. I'm going to do a little play-by-play commentary throughout the video. Hope you enjoy. This encounter is kind of neutral anyway, for this team comp, because I would get items either way on that minion round. However, I could get an extra augment on that minion round that will give me more items, so it's okay. It's pretty good. Vayne is a really popular team comp right now, so I'm thinking about playing her. Street Demons are also very powerful, so those are both options for my opener. Hold on to pairs, hold on to bruisers, because I already have those. I have a bow, so that allows me to play Vayne potentially. Also opens up a lot of other lines. Pretty comfortable with Vayne at this point. We want to keep the Street Demon line available potentially, so we hold on to the Zeri. Bane's just a better opener than Kog'Maw, kind of regardless, so I don't care about dropping him. I don't want to hard commit to playing Mundo. It would be nice with Cooking Pot, but I always love having direction in the early game, so Wandering Trainer is very good. Gives you 2 emblems, easy direction most of the time, not a bad augment, usually helps you be pretty powerful, and I got a very, very, very good one. This Vexotech team composition like just dropped a couple days ago, maybe yesterday. I saw Bunny Muffins drop a video on it, and it looked really fun, so I already had that team comp in my mind when I was starting to play this game. I was like, oh, beautiful. It really wants me to play that team right now. Obviously, forget about Vayne, because she's not going to work with the Exotech emblem. I'm just going to start playing around a full Exotech team right now. Checking the items I have. The Exotech items that are available to me, and the ones on my bench right now. And I could slam a Last Whisper, but I'm definitely going to want a Ginsu's and a Hextech Gunblade and at least one Exotech item, probably the Flux Capacitor on my Zeri. And yeah, with that being said, like I want to save the bow for Ginsu's. I don't want to be without it this game. I want to save the glove for an Infinity Edge to go with my Pulse Stabilizer on Jhin. And then I could even just slam an Even Shroud to get my armor penetration that I need with this cloak. So I just decided that Last Whisper is probably not the greatest slam right here. Even though, you know, most of the time you do want to slam your items, get something going. My team's all physical damage right now, so this Even Shroud will be a pretty good slam. Also gives me a couple resistances. That level 1 Jax is already looking pretty tanky with these 2 items. This team comp is pretty freaking straightforward as well. You don't have to get too creative once you have an emblem. You just run 6 Exotech. You just don't run Nefiri. Then you add in Kindred, Gragas, Vex. That's it. That's your level 9 board. You usually don't put in Vex or Gragas at 8. You keep one of those 2 out depending on, you know, what you need and what items you have. But you could judge that game by game. Like I said, I definitely want a blue buff on my Vex later. And I guess I'm kind of wilding out, reforging one and building another item. But I don't think I'm going to have Vex for a little while. So I want to make use of these items. I do not want to have too many items sitting on my bench, so I need to slam. I definitely should have moved the Even Shroud and Repulsor Lantern over to Mordekaiser right there, but I don't know, I was thinking about just selling the Jax and not wasting a remover, but I remind myself I'll have plenty of removers this game. Don't need to be too conservative with it. Let's just use one. There we go. We're going to have a very strong front line and a lot of backline units that like attack speed, so that's why I picked Clockwork Accelerator right there. Just a pretty decent, pretty basic combat augment. Yeah, this game is exciting. It gets pretty crazy. I take this team comp to its limits, but nothing too insane. No 3-star 4 costs, no 3-star 5 costs. Don't get 10 Exotech or anything like that. Just a really insane game. Felt like I was playing Sugarcraft from that 12, I think it was. Same principle, like Sugarcraft, or was that other trait with the Yordles? I don't think it was Scrap, but it had like Gnar, Poppy, Ziggs maybe. Any team composition that, you know, rewards you for having a lot of items. Obviously you want to find a lot of items. Try to find them through your augments or whatever other means you can.
Let's admire me for a bit.
Again, I could slam Thieves' Gloves right here. I really don't know why I didn't. I really don't know why I didn't. Like, I don't care too much about Infinity Edge. I want Ginsu's and Hextech on my Zeri. And I guess I was saving it for Guard Breaker. Saving the Crit Glove for Guard Breaker, maybe a Guard Breaker on Vex, maybe an Infinity Edge on Jhin. I just feel like those items are going to be better than having a random Thieves' Gloves, like a Gragas or something. He's just not that strong right now. Level 1. You just get random items that are useless, so I think that's why I didn't slam with Thieves' Gloves right here, even though there's a very strong argument for me to do so. I'm on a 3 streak right now, level 7. I just felt like I needed a little something to keep this streak going into the minion rounds, so that's why I rolled right there. I wanted to hit like Mordekaiser 2, Jhin 2, or something, and we got it. Got a Zeri. Pick out the Jhin real quick to get the Flux Capacitor off. Move the items to her. Get 7 Exotech, and we should be able to win this fight, I think. Honestly, don't remember if I do. Oh yeah, easy money. Yeah, it was a little risky to roll down to 20. Sacrifice my econ, but I was on a streak, a 3 streak going into neutrals, so I thought it was worth it. I was level 7, there was a good chance that I hit something to help my board. Yeah, I would have rolled there again. Accidentally sell the Gragas right there. Would have been Gragas too, but oh well. I just wanted to get my econ back up to 50, so that's why I was selling all those units so quickly. Alright, so we know we don't want to get rid of this tier now because we're going to have Vex soon now. We have a good 7 Exotech board right now. We have good items. So we don't need Vex just yet. We could just wait, be level 8 for a while. Slam some other random items. And stabilize, get maybe Sejuani 2, maybe Zeri 2 at level 8. And then after the next Carousel, maybe after the next neutral round, when we have the items for Zeri, then we could go level 9 and put Zeri on the board. But it just doesn't make sense to rush 9 just to put her on right now. And holy guacamole, Tomb Raider is the absolute best augment in this position. I'm healthy, people are going to start dying soon. I have a ton of units that I could itemize. And it's really just going to help me snowball this comp. Yeah, Tomb Raider, if you guys didn't read it, it just allows me to choose one of 4 completed items from any of the other players when they die. Like the Zyra guy at the bottom, if he were to die, I just get it'll offer me 4 of his items randomly, and I get to choose from one of those 4. Quick positioning trick when you're playing Zeri as your backline is you want your other units tucked away in the corner, and if you have any extra backline units, put them in that little pocket hex on the left corner. That way Zeri has that full area in the backline to dash in between, and she never has to dash forward into the second row from the back and put herself in danger. As long as she has access to like 4 hexes or 5 hexes in the back, she'll never like step up, put herself in like an unnecessary danger. So you could dodge like a lot of Sejuani ults and a lot of other bullshit like that. I really should have slammed these C's. I don't know. Take honest. I guess like none of my units are that great to like have it on. But yeah, probably should have slammed it. We pick up a sword here because we definitely want Hextech Gunblade on Zeri. We do not want her dying. It's going to be our primary damage. You're playing Zeri, I think that's one of the essential items. You need some way to keep her alive. If you have some other way to keep her alive, maybe you don't need it, but most games you want the Hextech on Zeri. Being patient with our econ right now. Our health is still pretty high. And yeah, we could roll for Zeri too. We could roll for Sejuani too, but we have a lot of gold and we're pretty healthy. I scouted around and there's one person playing Vex too, and there's one person playing Zeri. So I'm not super contested. I already knew like if I was going to play Vexotech, at least somebody was going to be, at least one other person was going to be playing Zeri. So I didn't really care about that in the beginning of the game. I did scout around, but I'm like, alright, at least one other person's going to play Exotech. Like I could live with that. So I just had way too good of a setup to not play it this game. Anyways, like I'm not too worried about rolling at level 8 to find Zeri right away because I could eat a couple losses, and I know all the Zeris aren't going to be taken out of the pool. I'm not going to have a problem finding her later. I kind of forget we were going to have a treasure armory here. I was really hoping I could just finish out my other items otherwise. Like just getting a natural tier rod or getting whatever else I need from the anvil. But I forget, most of the time when you're doing these treasure armories, they give you a lot of completed items and maybe like one component. So it's kind of hard to fill out my items based on what I had on my bench already. But right there I saw item collector, and I didn't even think about that when I was looking around, but I was like, wait, that makes way too much sense for my team right now. I have a lot of items already. I have Tomb Raider, so I'm going to be getting a lot more items. So I don't need to pick like a perfect final item to get off of the treasure dragon. That Shiv is fine. I'm gonna have some magic damage from Varus and Vex, so I really don't mind just taking that for right now and trying to figure out perfect items later on. Yeah, the item collector plus Tomb Raider is just really going to help this team scale into the late game. Take it to the next level. Item collector just gives you bonus stats, health, attack damage, and ability power for every unique item you have on your board. I'm also going to try to build unique items, like items I don't already have. Unless it doesn't make sense.
Mortality is truly divine.
Definitely want a guard breaker for my Vex. I could have picked up a Morello right there because I don't have any anti-heal on my team. Would have been good. But whatever. Let's figure it out later. We already have a Ginsu's, and it's not the greatest item on any of my units, so I just want to pick another unique item. Be Giant Slayer, could be Redemption. I go with the Redemption because I just want to fill out my front line, get that last item up there, and the Redemption will help my Sejuani and Mordekaiser tank a lot more. So I think it was a pretty good pickup right there. Yeah, my team is already starting to snowball a little bit, and I do not even have Vex in yet. Guess I decided I just wanted to start building up Vex. The Ginsu's isn't a terrible item on Varus. Not very good. Pretty bad. It's acceptable. I didn't really see anything else I liked that much on the carousel. Yeah, I know I don't need to go to level 10 this game. I don't need to. And probably not going for anything wild like 3-star 4 costs or anything, so I'm just rolling down my gold right now. Trying to get the Sej 2, trying to get Vex 2, and just be as strong as I can right now. I don't really need too much else. Yeah, all that really matters is that I out-survive a few more players, get a few more items. I will just be too strong for anybody to deal with. Fight was looking a little grim, but have too many strong backline units. Get that nice Hex Tech for my Zeri. Switch the Pulse Stabilizer over to Jhin. I really wanted a blue buff on Zeri, but obviously she's not the main carry of our team right now, so I didn't over prioritize it this game. Didn't end up getting it, but I'm gonna move our items around a little bit more. We could have picked up another unique item, but I felt like Guard Breaker will just help Jhin a lot more than the extra little bit of attack damage and health we'll get from Item Collector. We earn some of these extra items ourselves, taking out the lobby. I think I do end up picking up the D-Claw right here just because defensive items are defensive items and it's unique, so just trying to min-max the item collector right now. Warmogs may have been a little bit better. More versatile, but whatever. D-Claw isn't bad. Maybe I can go get something to go with it later. I could just roll for Varus 2 right here, but it's kind of stupid to roll at level 9 for just a Varus 2. And I say, I might as well try to go for 10. Still have a decent amount of health. Not too much, but if I lose another fight, I could just roll for the Varus. I say, might as well save for 10. I could fit an extra Divinicore unit, extra Dynamo or whatever. Yeah, the Jhin is still almost doing as much as the Zeri in these fights, so definitely worth itemizing him whenever you can. Yeah, and I could have got a unique item, and there really wasn't any good choices there, honestly, for any of my units, but Infinity Edge, I guess, will help Varus a little bit. The unique item, or no, it's not a unique item for me now. But, whatever. Couldn't be perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure if Thieves' Gloves count as just one full item or 3 full items on Exotech. I'd imagine it's just one full item. And also, as far as item collector goes, I'm not sure what Thieves' Gloves count. I'm sure it's the same thing, they just count as one unique item. And then also, I'm not sure how the Exotech. I'm not sure if the Exotech items count for item collector. I'd imagine they do, but maybe we could get Leduc to answer these questions. Honestly, I probably could have tested it myself by just putting on like one more unique, or taking off an Exotech item and putting it back on, seeing if it gives everybody else that extra 20 health. Oh, I could have just tested it myself. I want Leduc to answer it. Finish off with a double kill. Way too strong, snowballed way too hard that game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Play the new Vexotech team comp. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.